Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Sunday, May 16th, 2021, and going to catch up on all the headlines from today and yesterday, at least the ones I'm aware of. Yesterday, a breaking story was that the child, Damon Weaver, who interviewed Obama as president in 2009, he died as a young man at age 23. This news broke yesterday, May 15th. And reportedly, he had died exactly 2 weeks earlier, May 1st. And what stood out to me is that he interviewed Obama in 2009, 09, dead at 23. 23 is the ninth prime number. And they say he was 11 years old in 09 when he interviewed the president. But the biggest thing here is May 1st, the day that he reportedly passed, the 121st day of the year, and his name, Damon Weaver, is 121, like blood sacrifice. And we've talked about this pattern with suspicious deaths, young and old, many a times before. We recently talked about it. Well, there was more recent, but the one example my mind was going to go back to, I know we've talked about even since then, but just Dolly Parton's brother, he died on January 21st. And Dolly Parton was connected to one other death this year. I forget which one it is right now, but anyway, the point is this 121 number and death. And the other thing about May 1st is it was a date with 47 numerology. Again, in the background, I got the license plate that says, what is 47? You think of Obama. He took the White House at age 47 along with Joe Biden, who was the 47th vice president. But this number is so important in Gematria. All of these things equal 47. President, White House, government, authority, Republican, Democrat. Even the letters DC are 47. If you say, how can all that be? Again, you have to understand how the ciphers work. Alphabetic order forwards and backwards with the rules of numerology. And again, president, in what's considered the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology is 47. White House, also 47 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. Republican, 47 in the most pure cipher. Democrat, 47 when you run it in reverse with the numerology. And remember, Lincoln created the Republican Party, and he said 7 years ago, and that was the Whig Party that became the Republican Party, essentially. Whig, 47. Or the split off that launched the Republicans, but Whig with the most simple cipher, 47. And when you just run the alphabetic order in reverse, DC is 47. And the word government is 47. And the word authority is 47. And again, it goes beyond just the gematria. The cornerstone for DC was laid September 18th, 1793, a date with 47 numerology. And, the cornerstone, the foundation, the word foundation is 47. The Pythagorean theorem, the 47th problem of Euclid, has everything to do with mathematics and how to make, right triangles and measure appropriately, knowledge that builders would need. The Masons of the Scottish Rite out of France set their compass at 47 degrees. DC was laid out by the French Freemason L'Enfant. France is 47. So anyway, we're just always talking about 47, especially in DC. You had Trump. Trump's another 47, who was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel in 2016, the night he became president-elect, who was saying, I've done more in 47 months than Biden's done in 47 years. And again, while all this stuff's been going on, that license plate's been in the background. What is 47? Why are they always doing these rituals with these numbers? Again, this is a ritual with these numbers. The numbers lined up wrong for Damon Weaver this year on the 121st day of the year, the date with 47 numerology, when his life, the thing that he's most remembered for, and just like how it's written about, is interviewing the president as an 11-year-old in 09. And isn't it fun how they always bring those numbers together? Again, that's how you see it's all number games. The word end, by the way, with the most simple cipher, just the alphabetic order. E's the 5th letter, N's the 14th, D's the 4th, end is 23. His end comes early at 23. And by the way, when you look at his name, Damon Weaver, there's a lot of things that are interesting here, but the 59, of course, is in his name, right? Young black man. Remember, Obama's Secret Service name is Renegade. Renegade's 59. Obama's 59 years old right now. We were just talking about this last weekend with the death of his dope his dog, Bo. Bo died 277 days after Obama's 59th birthday. 277 is the 59th prime, 59 is the 17th prime, and Bo is 17. And again, these patterns go way beyond just Obama's dog dying. Again, chapter 1 of my new book, I lay out the 277, 59, 17 pattern with the establishment of the U.S. But again, just the boys' names got the 59 encoded in it. And, words like slave, blues, Negro, Rasta, Motown came out in 59. All these things got the 59 in it. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. So the young black man's name had a 59 in it to interview the president known as Renegade. And then he dies while Obama is 59 years old. So Obama's birthday is August 4th. And there he is, 59 right now. So the young man with the 59 in his name dies while Obama's 59. And again, say what you will about Mark Passio, but again, I like a lot of his work, but I have some serious issues. And also with the same man, but like he makes it seem that these people only sacrifice in part of the year. He always says that the season of sacrifice with the occult is from about the middle of March until about May 1st. And I say, okay, that's interesting, but these people kill people all around the year. So anyway, he's always talking about May 1st, though, being the big closeout day where there's usually some funny stuff going on. This young man died on May 1st. And remember, Mark Passio, the reason he would know more than the average person is just because he was a member of the Church of Satan who climbed the degrees. He didn't make it to the top. The highest degree of the Satanic Church is the 5th degree, which is interesting because Satan is 55 in Gematria, and this nation's capital's got the 5-pointed star in the streets and the 555-foot tall Washington Monument. But he made it to the 3rd degree. He was a priest. That's the 3rd degree of the Satanic Church. But he's just always talking about the middle of March to May 1st. This is when the occult, they call it their season of sacrifice, and they do their killing. And again, my problem with that teaching is that I know it goes beyond just the middle of March to May. So that is very apparent. And but again, the one thing I've been trying to get Mark Passio to talk about since 2013 is this, and he won't share this with his audience. And I find that interesting. It's like, why would you not want to share this? I mean, this is just undeniable every single day. Except for to the moron masses that deny everything that's truth-related. They only accept lies. Lies are their truth. The truth they hate. And that is the way the world is, and that's because pretty much everyone's raised on lies, starting with Santa Claus. And probably everything else their parents lied to them about. But R.I.P. to this young man. And just a reminder of how sick it is in D.C., the land of untold evil. Okay, also today in the headlines, Israel emergency services responding to a synagogue bleacher collapse. Now, this happened in a section of Jerusalem known as Givat Ze'ev, if that's how it's pronounced, which has gematria of 117. And notice it's the bleachers, you guys. Bleachers, 73. Israel just turned 73, May 14th, 2 days ago. Gaza, 73, the whole week of bombing Gaza. But this 117, just the other night, if you followed my website, the other night I put up this post. Let's see when I posted this. I know it was late. I posted this May 14th, I guess it wasn't that late, 6:20 p.m. The Truth has responded to it. Thank you, The Truth, for giving some feedback. But here's what I noticed about this. Oh, okay, I'm going to skip through some of this. Some of this stuff is relevant, but there's that Satan 55 thing. But hold on, this is the point I wanted to make. Okay. At least 10 Palestinians killed by Israeli soldiers in violent confrontations in West Bank as Gaza rocket fire enters 5th day. And this was on Israel's birthday, right? And I noticed that CNN's post time for the article was 8/11, right? Now remember, 8/11/2019, do you remember that date? August 11, 2019. The first thing we did with that date, a year in advance. Well, it was September of 2018. Then in September of 2018, this was the last time my work was getting out. And it was a blessing in hindsight. I wish it had continued going because there was, in September of 2018, through part of October, and then when the Bush video, his death happened, there was a window where my videos are getting a lot of traffic. And if you were here in September of 2018, I probably had about 10 videos in a month's period of time get between 200,000 views and well over 500,000 views. I had a bunch of videos about what was going on and what was being forecast, and I was talking about August 11th, 2019, Tisha B'Av in Israel. I said circle August 11th, 2019, and circle that's the date of Tisha B'Av, and circle Temple Mount, because Tisha B'Av is about the destruction of the two temples. It's a Jewish holy day that happens once a year, and there was a whole lot of things pointing to that date and that location. And a big part of what we were looking at was, just prophecy and Golden Gate, which reminds people of San Francisco. So then a lot of people in the truth community picked up on the work with only the San Francisco part, which was the secondary thought. The main thought was to circle Israel, Temple Mount, August 11, 2019. A lot of things were going on in the world. They were raising money to build a third temple. There's this, a sect of Judaism wants to destroy what the Muslims have there, which is Al-Aqsa Mosque, and replace it with the third temple, which is what's supposed to bring up at the time of the Jewish Messiah. And remember, they started selling a shekel in Israel with Trump's head on one side and King Cyrus next to it, and then on the other side was the third temple, and that shekel's being sold to raise money to build a third temple. So anyhow, August 11th, 19, we had that date circled from September of 2018. A lot of people saw those videos. I mean, altogether, all those videos just focusing on that, I mean, several million views. And that was the same time that, we were talking about a bunch of other things too, just the meaning of the numbers and how they'd been used in rituals. There was a video around that time that I did on 9/11 and 77, and that was the same time Google, for the first time, changed their answer. This began in September of 2018, you guys, Google answering this question falsely. How tall is the Pentagon? Watch, it's going to say 71 feet, which is false. This began September of 2018, and I would say it probably had a lot to do with the video I did on the subject that got about 500,000 views, because it changed right after, because it was always 77 feet, and if you look up the real dimensions to the Pentagon, it is 77 feet tall, which matters because, again, Flight 77 hit the 77-foot-tall Pentagon on the 77th Meridian West at 9:37 after taking off at 8:20, 77 minutes earlier. And Pentagon construction also began in history on September 11th, 1941, right before Pearl Harbor, which was in the end of 41, December 7th, 127. Like buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell in New York the same day, September 11th, and they called that the new Pearl Harbor, and Ground Zero's 127. And when you write out September 11th, it's 77. But anyway, that period of time was the last time that my work had any success in terms of views. And the reason I could tell it, for all of you guys who think it's just that they've ratcheted down the views, but it's probably the same or even bigger, here's how I know that that's not the case. In September of 2018, because it only went on for about 4 or 5 weeks, but I was telling Sweet Leigh, I was like, man, if this keeps up or gets bigger, I might finally be able to what I want to do with this movement. Because my ebook at that time was selling, like a bad week for about a 5-week stretch was only making I forget. Altogether, I want to say that the worst week was probably like 1,500, but it was like about 2,000 each week, 2,500 just from the ebook sales. But only went on for like 5 weeks, and then before that, it was nothing. Like, I'd sold no ebooks for the first 5-6 months that it was out there. And then, all of a sudden, it finally started to sell. I was like, okay, it's getting out there. The word's getting out. But then after that, all the views got cut down. I, never had a video that really got any views after that, except for the Bush one. And then that did boost back up the book sales again for a week. I actually had I sold the most books I ever sold in a week after Bush died, because that video got the most views out of any video I'd ever made. So that's how you can see that when your video is getting out there, people are responding to the work and they're supporting it. and they're buying the book. Now, since then, there's been nothing. And it was spring of 2019 that actually, I remember the other time that I got views. So that after that, it was like they put the brakes on it and I couldn't really get any views. But the one time it seemed to leak out was right after the mosque shootings in New Zealand, March 15th, 2019. That was the day that all my books got banned on the 3 platforms they were on. And that's because that day that video got a lot of views on the mosque shooting. And yeah, so anyway, but just to go back, August 11th was a huge thing that we talked about for a long time. And what ended up happening August 11th, 2019 is one of the worst things that ever happened on Temple Mount. Now, I was thinking they might do something a lot worse than what they did, but still, it was one of the most important Muslim holy days, this day of sacrifice on the same day of Tisha B'Av. And the Muslims were worshiping at Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is at Temple Mount, which is the 3rd most holy Muslim site in the world. And the Israeli police that day went up on the worshipers and fired tear gas into where they were worshiping. I mean, just a total wrong act on the wrong day. And again, it's just mockery because it's at the site that's to remember the destruction of the temples. And again, they were just putting down this number 118, and we noticed like they're coding 118 all over the place. September 11th, 2018, and I was like, And I looked and I said, look at that. Tisha B'Av, the next coming Tisha B'Av falls on 118, August 11th. And remember, the thing about 9/11 and Tisha B'Av is this. If you, in Jewish Gematria, most important cipher outside the base ciphers, if you write out Tisha B'Av, it's 9/11, right? And Tisha B'Av is to remember the destruction of the 2 temples. Not far off from 9/11, the 2 towers. And there's a lot more to that, but again, that's why we knew when they were coding that around the time of September 11th. There was a lot of things that we covered that time. I mean, and the research wasn't wrong because they ended up doing something that truly was atrocious at Temple Mount on Tisha B'Av. And remember, the day before that, Jeffrey Epstein died in a huge ritual by the numbers. And just look how, I mean, this is why it's like, why do people deny this? Or here, let me just go back and show you. Jeffrey Epstein, let me just pull this guy up. He died the day before, August 10th. But his birthday's January 20th. You think about that now, 201, right? From Brooklyn, New York, most Jewish neighborhood in the world outside of Israel. And by the way, did you see what Kyrie Irving, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, just said about what's going on in Israel and Palestine? That guy is such a puppet. He'll just say whatever they want. That's why he even became part of the Flat Earth PSYOP. But look at this. January 20th to August 10th. Watch this. January 20th, 2019. We still got to get through all the headlines going on right now, but I just got to go back and revisit this. Okay, it was 202 days after his birthday. Big Skull and Bones number. And to his upcoming birthday, it was, let me see what that also was. It was 163 days, which is the 38th prime, number connecting to death. But look at this. Jeffrey Epstein. You see how it's 163 in the most simple cipher? 163. Dead 163 days from his upcoming birthday. And with regards to the 202 after, remember, Skull and Bones is 202, and the 202nd minute of the day is 3:22 in the morning, like they identify by 322. Remember, 322, March 22nd. You see how Skull and Bones is also 149? King Super's 149. The King Super shooting this year on 3/22. And then they said they identified the last victim at 2:02 in the morning. And again, just a long list of that. But here's the thing about Epstein in Skull and Bones. Look at his full name. Watch this. Jeffrey Edward Epstein, 322, right? 322. In the same cipher is Abrahamic Religions 322, which is based out of the Torah, which begins with Genesis, where Genesis 322, infamous verse about knowing good and evil, which pays tribute to Kabbalah, which is of the ancient mystery religions, which is another 322, you know? Number used all throughout history. The simulation of the Pentagon being hit by a plane October 24th, 2000, 322 days before 9/11, while the Skull and Bones member George Bush was in office, who got asked about 322 in 2004 when he was running against Kerry, who was also a member of Skull and Bones, who also got asked about 322. But anyway, coming back to this, they posted 8/11, right? And this whole conflict that's beginning right now, again, began with the police assaulting Muslims at Al-Aqsa Mosque, right? So I'm like, okay, look at this. This is the biggest negative story in Israel since the Al-Aqsa Mosque story, which was August 11, 2019 on Tisha B'Av. Now, again, it's the police of Israel instigating the Muslim worshippers at Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is where again, you can't blame all Jews, but there's a sect of Jews that want to get rid of Al-Aqsa Mosque where the Muslims worship because they believe that the third temple should be there, and that's what's right, and that's their birthright, and this is holding back their prophecy and their Messiah. So this is a belief systems in the world. And again, this is the danger of religion, because when people really start believing in their religion, which is just all based on belief and not evidence and getting other people to think and believe just like you, again, this is why you get the deadly violence that you get with religion. But look at this. So I had to measure, right? From August 11th, when it went down at Tisha B'Av, to this year's birthday for Israel, the 73rd birthday. And remember why the 73rd birthday is so important. The most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, the blue cipher, Theodore Herzl is 73, who's the father of Zionism, who died July 3rd, 7-3, July 3rd, 7-3. He died in 1904, 44 years before Israel was established. He died at age 44. Again, Israel's 44, Zion's 44, military's 44. It's a military empire. But the other one is David Ben-Gurion. David Ben-Gurion, who declared Israel a nation May 14th, 48. And his name in the most pure cipher is 73. And it's also 145, like the date Israel was established, 14/5. And you notice Jeffrey Epstein when I wrote it in. I mean, he's also got that 73 in there. Jesuits, Jewish Catholics, 73 books in the Catholic Bible, 73 the 21st prime, Bible 21 in the most pure cipher, like Jesuit, like Sunday. All these things going down in 2021. But anyhow, here's the thing. From August 11, 2019 to Israel's 73rd birthday, this clearly very significant date. Again, all week, the week of the 73rd birthday, they're bombing Gaza. Gaza 73. This is all biblical. Revelation, the 73rd book of the Catholic Bible about the false Jews in power, large and in charge, war of good and evil. And I suppose I should bring that up because notice this is going on in the West Bank on Israel's birthday. West Bank's got that Gematria 121 and 49 like Revelation. And remember, Israel, the first country to have their papers, right? It's like World War II over there with the vaccines. It's the green card, right? And green's got the 49, like card's got the... Or hold on. No, it's like the official name. I got to go back and dig up my post on that. There's another 49 connection to that pass that they're making them use over there. Covered that like a week ago. But again, just remember, they simulated the pandemic May 15th, 2018, exactly 666 days before it was declared. Like in the 73rd book of the Catholic Bible, you learn about 666, the mark of the beast, which you must have if you want to participate in the market, like this COVID pass they have over there in Israel, the first country to have to carry their COVID papers. Nothing like it since World War II with the Nazis making the Jews carry cards. Or the U.S. making the Japanese carry cards. Similar type of thing. Internment camps over here as well. But anyhow, here's the big thing though. From August 11th to May 14th was 643 days, which is the 117th prime number. And this is a number that all this time, I've known there's things about this number, but I never really took the time to really think about it deeper. So I did some more research on this number. And this is connecting to events taking place in Israel right now, right? Israelites equals 117. Chosen ones. This is terminology that is used. People who believe they're the chosen ones. That's why they think they have the right to destroy somebody else's holy site to build their holy site there, right? Because they're the chosen ones. They're the true ones. And you got people on all sides of all religions thinking that their religion's absolute, the rest are wrong. But Israelites 117, chosen ones 117, indigenous 117, the people who are really from belong there. You know, look at how all these words come together. Testament 117, warfare 117. And then you got Chabad Lubavitch, which is a sect of Judaism 117. You got the Sabbatai Zevi, big part of the false movement 117. There's a lot of things in here that some of this could be coincidental, but all of this to line up, and then these key dates, the key birthday, they said it May 14th became the deadliest day, and then May 15th, and now they're saying today's even more deadly. And again, like we said at the beginning of the year, you guys, 21 will be a year of major war headlines. That was my first prediction for the year. Again, 21 just goes right with war. War has the gematria of 21. Army has the gematria of 21. Jesuits control the world. They're the military carrying on the Templar tradition of the Catholic Church, doing everything by the code. Again, the language we're on, the calendar we're on, they both go to the Catholic Church. We're living in their world. And again, Bible 21, we know all this stuff's biblical. They're saying today, the deadliest day yet on a Sunday. Remember how Sunday is, 84, 21, 78, just like Jesuit, who named... Whose calendar again are we on? Theirs. Catholic Church. Whose language are we speaking? Theirs. Who synced all this up? They did. That's why, again, 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament than the Protestant. Catholics 145. Israel created 14/5 in an ongoing agenda waged by the church to bring about prophecy. Catholic 46, like 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, like Joe Biden, Catholic, the second one, number 46. 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. JFK, the only other one, killed at age 46. Beau Biden dead at 46. Again, all the stuff we covered a million times. But I just wrote about this the other day, right? I was just posting about this with 117 and Israel. And again, I'm saying the Jesuits are behind all this. Now here we are on Sunday, the Jesuit day. And what happens? Another tragedy in Israel. A bunch of Jews dead and injured in the town that equals 117, right after the 73rd birthday, where Bleachers is 73. And again, you guys, these are evil people. These are evil people. These are people who are invested only in their own power and control, and they will do whatever every day to keep people stuck in their game. And again, they just love to drown us in just negativity every day, and people just tune right in and they pay for it. They pay for it. They watch the commercials. Between the commercial breaks, more negativity, more tragedy. Again, it's just like they got the world hooked on evil. And I've understood this since 9/11. That's pretty much what's been coming out of my mouth, you know, for years and years before I learned about any of this. I just said these people see no evil. They are blind to evil. They don't care about evil. But then the truth, man, that really sets them off. So they must actually be evil. So I started to think after 9/11, I was like, look at my people, man. Blind as hell. And then try to tell them what should be obvious. And they got nothing but contempt for you. So, but yeah, I mean, seriously, coincidence? No. And here, I think we covered all the main things here. Yeah, and again, just to think about what the word testament means. New Testament, Old Testament. A person's will, especially the part relating to personal property. So again, just with these tragedies, Al-Aqsa Mosque, where certain people want to get rid of somebody's building and make it something else. And by the way, you guys, don't forget, I bet a lot of people forgot about this story. You remember when the cathedral in Paris, you remember when that burned the other year? Let's see. Cathedral Al-Aqsa. This should pull it up. Oops, I spelled cathedral wrong. Cathedral Al-Aqsa. Yep, here we go. On the exact same day. This was April 15th. Man, see, now I get it, you guys. I didn't have this piece back then, but now I get it. Man. Remember, April 15th is 201 days. 201 days after the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, September 27th. And a lot of big things in April 15th, from the Titanic to Lincoln who blamed the war on the Jesuits. But on the same day that Notre Dame burned in Paris, which got almost all the attention, that same day, Al-Aqsa Mosque caught on fire at Temple Mount. And a lot of people didn't even catch the Al-Aqsa Mosque headline because it was, the Paris fire was the big story that day, all day. And then the subheadline, even if you were like looking at CNN's, how they have 10 stories or so on the right, the Al-Aqsa Mosque one, it wasn't even there much of the day, but it was like the bottom story when it was there. And I was like, wait a minute. This whole thing, like we talked about then, this was a major ritual. I have several posts on this, but the connection is through the Knights Templar, because the Knights Templar are behind the construction of Notre Dame, and the Knights Templar used to use Al-Aqsa Mosque and call it Solomon's Temple in the time of the Crusades. They used it as their headquarters. So again, Jesuits, Templars, Church. And remember, the Jesuits have the Templar cross in their logo. This was 201 days after the big recognition day. And it was also a span of, it was 118 days from the Pope's birthday, or a span of 119. You know what? Well, this happened that year before August 11, 2019, because this happened in April of 2019, and right away I was pointing that out. I was saying, see, it's 118 days before August 11th, just like how they were coding 118 on September 11th, 2018. And by the way, around that time, somebody pointed out that you can also write the date 811, and you dial 811 to dig, and there was a TV show called Dig. There's a TV show out there called Dig, which is about a sect of Jews who want to blow up Al-Aqsa Mosque to build Temple Mount. So isn't it interesting that that's out there? But yeah, we were just so big on. So there's a lot of posts on here, but this was here. Let me just go back and do it. Hold on. December 7th, 2018 would have been Pope Francis's last birthday, and then it happened April 15th, 2019. Yeah, see, that was 119 days after Francis' birthday. And again, Vatican is 119, Francis is 119. Remember, they just reported that 119 people were dead on Israel's birthday this year. And again, it's the Vatican behind Israel. But when you write out Star of David, it's also 119. Number connects to a lot of things. Think of September 11th. And think about these events being about capturing the mind's eye of the masses, all seeing I-119. I forget, there was something else. Was it church fire? I can't remember what it was. There was some other word that fit in with the ritual. There was another 119 that fit in with fire. I got to go back and check it out. That was the 105th day of the year, too. And this year the fighting began. Remember, the altercation began May 7th with the police attacking the Palestinians at Al-Aqsa Mosque, and then May 10th, 10/5, which was the Pope's 145th day of his age. That's the day the deadly violence began. 10/5. So again, we're just talking about the same numbers, the same patterns. It happened on 15/4, synced up with Temple Mount. And that's why when August 11th came, what was so annoying about that is there was a major event at Temple Mount, but because the rest of the truth community had gone more wild with the secondary ideas, everyone became focused on San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge. It was, again, like the whole truth community cloned my work, but then they only focused on San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge, which was not the main thing. And again, it's just what makes me think that the rest of the truth community is a bunch of shills. Because again, it's like they mislead people. It's like, okay, that was the less likely thing. The main target was Temple Mount, which is where events happened that day. And then the other big place they happened was in Taiwan with the protesters. And then somebody pointed out how there's a little island off the coast of the island called Golden Gate, which was interesting. But God, I want to go. I'll have to go back through this. I have so many posts, but there was something else about 119 in the fire that I forget now. It's there somewhere. Let's see. There was so many things. So many people stepped up and donated money, billionaires. Talking about all the same stuff all these years. Jesuits, Illuminati, Freemasons, how it all comes together. Fire ritual, that's what it was. Just fire rituals 119, These sites related to the Catholic Church burning the same day. And a lot of people didn't catch it with Al-Aqsa because they're not thinking, they're like, well, that's a Muslim site. But nah, the Knights Templar used to call that Solomon's Temple. And think about how the Star of David, which is another 119, is also named the Seal of Solomon. So, but yeah, now I understand this greater. Paris, where the Jesuits are originally from, 201 days from the establishment anniversary with Rome. That's why this April 15th is such a thing to them. And then what we also learned about 154, which we covered in recent weeks. I'll save that for later because there's still a lot of headlines to go through. But of course, yesterday, Michael Jordan inducted Kobe Bryant into the Hall of Fame. And, if you've read my book, I talk about Kobe Bryant in May 15th in the Boule. Last year, the autopsy came out for Kobe on May 15th. And we'd already been talking about before that. Kobe Bryant and his father were in the Boule, which was established in Philadelphia in 1904 on May 15th. And May 15th is the 135th day of the year, and Kobe being Bryant's 135. So he ends up getting put in the Hall of Fame on this day. And notice just how they're standing there next to each other. 8, Kobe, 23, Jordan. That was Kobe's first number when he got in the NBA, 8. That's Kobe's birthday, 8/23, right? And then when you write out Michael Jordan in reverse, it's 238, like the date August 23rd. But Michael Jordan's also 113 forwards, like Kobe Bryant. In Sumerian gematria, it's both 678, like how they played their last games exactly 678 weeks apart, which we covered so many times. National Basketball Association 113. So many rituals with that number. Today, Steph Curry hits 9 3-pointers to give his team the 39th win. And then the final score is 113. And Memphis, the opponent, fell to 38-34 for the season. And that's why I always tell you guys that one of the best applications of this knowledge is just to pay attention with sports. Because when you get alignments like this, it's pretty much free money in sports. Memphis falling to 38-34 today was something that it has in the neighborhood of 80-85% odds of coming through. And that's why, again, if you're real selective with this knowledge, these kind of golden riddles come through. And you just take them. You pick your punches. So, again, that's the beauty of gematria. Is for all of you who are like, forwards and backwards. Yeah, pay attention to sports and then come back to me with your forwards and backwards attitude. You'll be like, damn, forwards and backwards, man. I got more money in my bank account this year. Anyway, on the 135th day, and again, Kobe Bryant chapter, huge in this book. 135th day of the year, he goes in the Hall of Fame. Come on, you guys. I talk so much about Kobe in 135 and his death. Remember, he's from Philly, where Jordan played his last game against. Jordan's last game was with the Wizards against Philly. Makes you think about the history of the country. Founders in Philly, D.C. But Philadelphia was established by William Penn, October 27th, 1682, a date with 135 numerology. Again, in the Bible, there's the letter written to the Church of Philadelphia, which mentions the Key of David, which is 135. And I've been talking about Philadelphia and 135 sports rituals like a broken record for all the years I've been here. There's been a lot. And again, I mean, it's just like, how, come on. I mean, where's all the people who watched the video on the Kobe Bryant death? I wish I could see them all right now, because actually in recent years where I haven't been able to get, I mean, that's what's sad. My work on Kobe Bryant, had that been in the past, those videos would have got hundreds of thousands of views. I made several videos on it. A lot of them got close to 100,000 views, but never once did YouTube show any of those videos making it past 100K. And this work needs to get out. That this work needs to reach more people. And by the way, I never made the point about what I normally make off ebook sales in a week, when I was saying in those weeks I was making like around $2,000 where the videos were getting a lot of views. In a normal week, the book probably sells between 1 to 3 copies per day on average. So I guess you could just say 2 in the middle. So I get $4 and some cents per book sale. So that means on an average day for ebook sales, I make about, $8.50, something like that. And so over the course of a week, what is that? That's $8.50 times 7, so it's like $60 a week in ebook sales. That's why I could tell in those weeks where there was a lot of traffic, where the videos were getting views, and realize the content I was doing then, it really wasn't anything more interesting or greater than I'm doing at any other time, but for whatever reason at that time, somehow I was tracking and videos were getting content, and then it just got shut off after that. And remember, I had already lost a whole bunch of channels. I had to take a break. I had to move here. I finally got the new IP address, and then finally I could make a YouTube channel again. And, built back up the channel, started in July of 2018. So I'd only been making videos again since July of 2018 after not being able to make any since March and just putting out all my work on, my blog essentially and Twitter and things like that. But, again, I was able to build back up fast because people had been missing me, and we got momentum right away. And again, just, it was around the time of Aretha Franklin's death, August 16th, that it really took off. And then McCain's death, and then all the work doing about how they're coding this with Acts 7:6 and the encoding with pointing to August 11th, 2019. For a period of time there, the work was getting out, and then it was just like, you just saw the gates got put on everything because there hasn't been any views on anything since then. And that's what gets frustrating, because it's like you work so hard every day with the purpose of getting it out there that somehow it's going to make people inspired enough to share it. It just seems to not happen. But the other thing is Kobe. The other number we talk a lot about with Kobe and his death was 54, because he died the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. And notice the ceremony of Jordan inducting him, May 15th, the Boulet's birthday, 54 days before the start of the NBA Finals. And so on the 135th day of the year, 54 days before the start of the NBA Finals, are the Lakers going to end up as the 7th seed? If so, in the year of sevens, there's two narratives you could look at for the Lakers. They either become the first team to win the championship from the 7th seed, it's never been done in the year of sevens, or LeBron picks up his 7th loss in the finals. But remember, Kobe is the Lakers. Kobe equals 75. This is the 75th NBA season. And just take note that they've synced this ritual up clearly with the start of the NBA Finals by two numbers that I go over in a very huge way in regards to Kobe's death. So, and don't forget, Kobe crashed by Kanye West 135 days from Kanye West's birthday, and that matters because Kobe did the Nike short film with Kanye West, The Black Mamba, which ends with an exploding helicopter. And from Kobe's death to the Hall of Fame ceremony, exactly a span of 68 weeks. Catholicism, 68. Remember, he was traveling to Catholic Mass. Mathematics is 68. Basketball is 68, right? Exact same in all ciphers. Catholic Mass, 201, like the Jesuit order. And it's just... It is something else, man, how they do it over and over. And just even the post time by CNN at 2:06. 2:06. Bryant and Jordan both 26 in the most pure cipher, like Kobe died on the 26th. Also, this in the news. Black retired NFL players petition for end of race norming and $1 billion settlement. If you read the story, it's a former member of the Washington Redskins, now the Washington football team, Ken Jenkins, who's leading the movement, who began the petition. And here's what's messed up about this. The mainstream ran with this story on May 14th, 2021, okay? May 14th, 2021. That was a date with 40 numerology, right? 40 numerology. Look at this. Ken Jenkins equals 40 forwards and 59 in reverse. And remember, Negro, slave, Rasta, blues, they're all 59. Think of the concept of 40 acres and a mule for slaves, right? So on the 40 date numerology, we get a story about how Ken Jenkins has led this movement to essentially, if you think about it, get some pennies on the dollar for older black men who played in the league who don't have a lot now, that are suffering from all sorts of head injuries. And again, there's all sorts of different ways you can look at this, But the thing is, I really think the majority of people's head injuries are from the food they're eating. Again, look at our grocery stores. Almost every grocery store has a pharmacy, which is the most profitable section of the grocery store, and that's because people need the pills to treat their ailments from their poor eating habits that are provided by the same grocery store where they get their drugs and their pills. People aren't making their food their medicine. They're skipping the produce section. I mean, compare the produce section. People do get produce, but I mean, compare when you look at people in the store, their carts, it's full of processed crap, and they got a few veggies in there at best. Some people have. I'm always looking at. That's something I do at the grocery store. I don't try to make it obvious, but I just kind of like peek at everybody's groceries. What are they carrying around over here? Oh boy, look at these ones. I can't wait to see what's in their cart. Oh my God, nothing but soda and cookies. Look at that. Do these people look like they need more soda and cookies? I mean, I feel like these things do need to be said out loud. You know? I think all the things that we think are taboo and we shouldn't say are the things we're supposed to be saying. As a kid, I noticed nobody could talk about government and religion. Those seem like the two most bullshit things to me in the world as a child. Government and religion. I'm like, and nobody's even allowed to talk about them, huh? Can't talk about government or religion. You saw it come together real nice on 9/11, something that nobody wanted to talk about at all, other than just nod their head and go along with what they're being told. But yeah, I think you get the point I'm making, man, with this. You know how the NFL's always doing with their 59 race shaming, and it's just like this on the 40-date numerology. I mean, $1 billion in today's money for how many former black, older, retired players are we talking about? I mean, this would break down to nothing. As expensive as medical costs are, this is just some more empty symbolism. But, and again, I mean, you think about American sports, you're looking at the product of slave breeding. So, anyway, there is that story. And there's also this one, another black entertainer, Jerome Young, known as New Jack, dead at 58. Look at his name in the most pure cipher, 58. Big number with the secret society, Rosicrucian, Freemasonry, Solomon's Temple, Tracing Board. They're all 58. Again, all those things relate to Freemasonry. All the secrets in Solomon's Temple, you got to complete the tracing boards to get your first 3 degrees. And, I mean, we talked about this number in a huge way when Kobe Bryant died. Los Angeles Lakers, 58. Kobe Bryant, 58. King James, the real King James, dead at age 58. LeBron passed Kobe in points scored the day before Kobe's death in Kobe's hometown, Philly, the biblical town, like King James with the Bible. Biblical's 58. The 4th book of the Bible's Numbers. Kobe fell to 4th in scoring. 4 is associated with death. He's dead the next day, but 58 was a number we talked a lot about. Again, my chat, you won't believe how much information I have on Kobe's death and just connecting it to all the stuff they did. I mean, I feel like everybody should read that chapter and know it. This is information to know at this day and age. Society of people that do not have the knowledge of how the occult rulers of our society operate. And again, it's... I'm thinking about saying that. I'm not even... Just never mind. Anyway, this guy's named Jerome New Jack Young, 271. That's the 58th prime. That's his name with the nickname in it. Right back to 58. And the picture, everybody used the same picture of him dead with the Under Armour on. And I was just looking at this. I was looking at that. Under Armour, I know, is already 58 in the most pure cipher, but his name, the exact same as Under Armour in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. You know, that image, dead at 58. It's just like, what kind of sick stuff is this? And it's just a reminder that the season of sacrifice doesn't end at May 1st. This stuff goes on year-round, day after day. And he did die on May 14th. Died on a date with 60 numerology. That's another number connected to the not-so-nice N-word. I also talked about how I'd look more at this Chris Rock story, why they did this on May 12th, why everyone put this out in the media on May 12th, Chris Rock, remembering Chris Farley. And there's some things that are definitely interesting here. The news came May 12th, which was Chris Rock's 95th day of being 56 years old. And Farley, of course, is 95, but 95 and 56 are big with the Jesuits. The Jesuits created to counter the 95 Theses, recognized by Rome on the day, leaving 95 days left in the year. Their leader dead in 1556, but again, Society of Jesus 56. So you got to say, okay, what are the odds of that? That all the mainstream remembers Chris Rock, or Chris Rock remembers Farley. Chris Rock says that the last time he saw him, he knew that was going to be it, and he doesn't really lead on about that, but maybe there was more than he's leading on that he knew about. So I had to go back and look. Chris Rock was 32 years old at the time, and Chris Farley died 314 days after his birthday. Now remember, circle equals 32 in the most Pierce cipher. And with regards to the Jesuits have the circle with the 32 sun rays around it. And again, gematria, which they're clearly into, is geometry and language. Geometry, pi, 314. Again, he died 314 days after Chris Rock's 32nd birthday, and if you're going, well, 314 is not the same as 3.14, technically you're correct. But again, what do you make of this? In the most simple cipher, 22 divided by 7 is 314. That's the mathematical shorthand of pi, 3.14, which has to do with the 360 degrees of the circle. And when you write out 360 in the most simple cipher, it's 227, like 22 divided by 7 is pi. Gematria means geometry and language. To me, it seems very clear that this was encoded in the language purposefully. And this was also done on the 132nd day of the year, May 12th, and Catholic Church is 132, and Roman Catholics 132, and that's who the Jesuits serve. So, got another 47 I never knew about for my What is 47 collection. Biden just dethroned the welfare queen. And remember who the real welfare queen is? The corporations of this nation, like Walmart, the biggest welfare recipient in the whole U.S. is old Walmart, old fascist marts. But this story, up at the top of it, they have this picture of her, the supposed welfare queen that was, really gaming the system and living the lavish life, taking advantage of all the welfare holes. But I noticed right away, I said, Linda Taylor, 47, the inspiration for Reagan's welfare queen, leaves court in 76. And that was the year that Reagan made an example out of her. You know what age she died at? She died at age 76. And remember, Negro 76, when you run it in reverse, Slave 56, Blues 56, Barack Obama, the first black president, 76, the Million Man March on October 16th, the day leaving 76 days left in the year, and all the other million examples we have, including Acts 76 about the 400 years of slavery and then the punishment for the nation after, which is when COVID landed, right after 400 years of slavery hit the date for the U.S. That was August of 2019. COVID was just a few months later. And this great punishment in Acts 7:7 for the nation responsible for the 400 years of slavery in Acts 7:6. And Obama puts out the book A Promised Land, which is 59 and 76, like slave. And you think about America in 1776, the nation built on genocide and slavery. And you think about the secret societies that run the thing, like Skull and Bones, who represents the Knights Templar, and George W. Bush with the 7/6 birthday, and the list goes on. But anyhow, Linda Taylor, 47 and 76, the year that she became the focus of the president, the big 47 word. And don't forget, Ronald Reagan's another 56, like Washington, D.C.'s 56. And remember what day he died. He died on June 5th, 5/6, but Washington, D.C., Ronald Reagan, again, 56, Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. But this woman, she died at age 76, and she did die on a date with 44 numerology in Illinois, the land that would become the land of Barack Obama. Number 44, just a few years after that. I bet you that's connected, sadly. I bet you that's not an accident. And this post right here from February 14th. Few people realize it, but Linda Taylor, a 47-year-old Chicago welfare recipient, has become a major campaign issue in the New Hampshire Republican presidential primary. This is from February 14th. 76. So you don't think they're doing this on February 14th? Think about it. February Black History Month as well. Shaming this black woman. But look at Ronald Reagan, 214, right? On 214, this is in the New York Times when the word's really getting out about this in Black History Month. You guys see, they've been doing the same thing our whole lives. I wasn't even alive in 76. I'm born in 83. But yeah, I'm sure there's a whole lot more to all of this. And I couldn't find her birthday. Yeah, this is the world that we've been living in, you guys. Just contrived bullshit to form perceptions, to make people pick sides. This is the game people have to escape from. Game been going on longer than it's been going on longer definitely than anyone watching's been alive. It's been going on a long time. Like I said in my first book, from what I can tell, this goes back to the Crusades. I didn't decode this myself, but Neo the hacker decoded this. Sao Paulo mayor Bruno Covas dead at 41. Just right away, my first thought is the day after Kobe. Kobe Bryant, 41, dead at... Oh, by the way, you guys, the Lakers won their 40... Come on, man. Come on, you guys. The way they just mock us. How scripted it all is. I mean, this is just straight mockery right here on the surface, but... By the way, shout out to Big Al. Big Al was stoked today because he killed the world of sports. He was disappointed with his horse racing performance yesterday. He felt like he should have done better today, just so the world knows Big Al smashed it. And anyway, but Lakers. This is yesterday, the day they entered Kobe into the Hall of Fame. The Lakers picked up their 41st win, you guys. 41 in their 71st game of the season. And remember, in the most pure cipher, Kobe Bryant's 41, dead at 41. Kobe Bryant's also 157, dead on his 157 days of age. 44 days before his death, he was in the news for helping out with a car accident. 113 days from his birthday. Again, the whole 58 thing we just talked about. And don't forget, the All-Star game after Kobe's death was dedicated to him, and they played to a target score of 157. And there's a whole lot more to that, too. Again, there's a reason the chapter on Kobe's death is 157 pages, you guys. It's incredible what these people do. And now the patterns just build. The Lakers pick up the 41st win the day goes in the Hall of Fame. And come on, man, 122 points? Don't you see it? Don't you see the 122 points, you guys? Oh, my God, man. Satanic's 122, right? And remember, it was Kobe's 666th career game where he scored 81 and the rest of the team scored 41. For a total of 122 points. And that game was on January 22nd, 1/22, the same day in history that Roe vs. Wade happened and abortion's 122. But when you write out Mark of the Beast, you see how it's 54 and 81? It's also 54, 144 in the same ciphers as Jesuit order, but 54, 81. Whoops. Kobe Bean Bryant is 54-81, his career high at 81 in the game where he scored 81. Again, the rest of his team scored 41. You know, Kobe Bryant, 41, dead at 41. But then the Lakers get the 41st win on the day he goes in the Hall of Fame with 122 points. Again, because all this stuff is satanic. It is evil. Remember, I hate that they delete my channels, man. I get so mad that I can't go back to videos I already did. But there was a day where we showed a video clip of LeBron and Obama laughing about the deal with the devil. You know, they're just laughing so hard about this comment about a deal with the devil. It was just so funny. And then we were just talking about a recent death connected to LeBron. And that's what makes me sad, too. These people who die over the years that are clear rituals for LeBron, which you document, I forget a lot of it because there's just so much to keep up with. But then later that same day, LeBron's teammate from high school, his sister was shot dead in the driveway. And we were just looking that day, we're like, look at how many deaths are connected to LeBron. It wasn't even that one. And then somebody called and said, Zach, look at this clip of him laughing with Obama. That's how it was. Somebody called and said, Zach, watch this clip. Go to this part. I think it was like the barbershop or something. But LeBron and Obama just laughing so hard about the deal with the devil. And then a story, boom, right out. Another story out about LeBron's high school teammate's daughter or sister just being murdered in her driveway. There's a Crime Stoppers out there for it. Again, it's just evil, you guys. It's such obvious. And again, what I'm proving, part of my motivation is to try and prove myself wrong. And that's that I decided a long time ago, this world is evil. These people are gone. All they care about is themselves. They don't care about evil at all. It doesn't matter to them one bit. They like it. It's more entertaining. It's more fun. It makes them feel more free to be a shitty person, I guess. But that's what it is, you guys. And if it wasn't that way, even despite all the censorship, there'd still be 1 million people here if they cared more. They'd find the work just like how all of you guys who found the work would be here. You know, you guys, despite all the censorship, are still here. More people can make the effort. More people don't because they're shitty. And I'm not just saying, like, it's not just because not watching my work makes you shitty. But, again, if they weren't shitty people, they'd care about what we're doing because what we're doing is righteous. We are exposing evil, putting out knowledge, proving who operates the show, who needs to be stopped. No one cares. So, Suns smashed this year. Before the season began, we said the Suns would be a very good team this year. And the reason why is right here. It's the year of 56. They're the only team with the true connection to 56, the Suns. In the year of 56, they had to smash. And they did. And remember, right at the beginning of the year, you remember right at the beginning of the NBA season, you had a death for the Suns. You had Paul Westphal by the numbers. And, what was the NFL running back who went to Syracuse? Who was in the news at the same time. But anyway, Bruno Covas, Neo the Hacker did this decode. All this stuff written on the screen. I just copied his post from Free to Find Truth. If you're on Free to Find Truth, Malik/Neo the Hacker, you know, he's got his timeline here. All of his posts. His last post 5 hours ago. But he does a great post almost every day, you guys. Here's his decode on the death of Damon Weaver. He's got even more stuff than I had. So, yeah. Great work. But, yeah, Neo the Hacker just always doing a really good job if you don't follow him. Jay Barbary, I didn't even see this. But, yeah, follow Neo the Hacker, absolutely. Get on Free to Find Truth. Follow Neo. He's doing a great job. I wish more people in the community took the time to write down their decodes and just put them out nice and neat like this. Neo the Hacker, this is how you do it right here. Just nice, clean information, strong patterns. And anyhow, again, this man's dead on a 62-date numerology. His full name is 62. Sacrifice is 62. Dead from cancer. 26-date numerology as well. Cancer, 26. Dead on his 40th day of his age. Bruno Covas, how he was known as a politician. 40 like Brazil. He died 46 weeks before his upcoming birthday. Sacrifice, 46. Catholic country as well. Catholic, 46. Don't overlook it. Died on the 136th day of the year, the 16th triangular number. He was the 53rd mayor, the 16th prime. We just talked about that pattern with Liz Cheney getting booted in 16 minutes. Liz Cheney equals 53 and 136. Just days later, another example with a politician, except for it's more fateful. He didn't just get kicked out of his leadership position. He got kicked off planet Earth. He's dead. He's now succeeded by Ricardo Nunez, 53. He died, which means he's in his 54th year of life, and he'll become the 54th mayor. And I imagine it's probably synced up with his 54th birthday. Maybe he got to it. He died a span of 6 months and 4 days after Ricardo Nunez's birthday. Kill 64. He died 25 weeks before Ricardo Nunez's upcoming birthday. Bruno in death, 25. He died at age 41. 41, the 13th prime. Bruno Covas. Oh, 13. I don't know what he's doing here. I don't know. That's some kind of thing he's doing. So I don't understand his message there. Bruno, I imagine he's saying like without the zero, kind of like 13. I see. And he died in Sao Paulo, which sits on the 46th meridian west of that 46 again. He died 37 months after taking off. His cancer also 37. He was hospitalized on 5/2, exactly 2 weeks before his death. Death 20. He died 14 days after being hospitalized. I see what he's doing. So he's knocking off the zero and just saying that key digit 14. Okay, I see what he's doing with this post. The other thing that I noticed that I added on is he died 39 days after his birthday or his 40th day of his age, and he died on 16/5. And Scottish Rite's 165 and Masonry's 39. And you know what? Today has 42 and 62 date numerology as well. Freemasons 42, Mason 62. So I see a big Mason tribute. Whoa. Did sound just come out of here? Am I hearing things? I thought I heard like some sound explosion. But yeah, I see a Masonic thing in there. So that is interesting. And again, great work, Neo. The tiger found in Houston, to me, this whole story just smells like bullshit. But what stood out to me right away is they found it May 15th, which was the 135th day of the year, right? And Tiger Woods is 135 forwards and backwards, just the way they're always bringing news and sports together. Tiger Woods, one of the bigger stories of this year, with his wreck on the 54th day of the year, exactly 135 days before the NBA Finals, and he's wrecked in L.A. And again, just Tiger Woods and Kobe Bean Bryant got that same gematria, and again, Tiger's banged up, Kobe's dead and going into the Hall of Fame. I smell something's going on here. One of the biggest moves this year in the NBA was in Houston. James Harden going to the Nets on January 13th, 113, number 13 on the 13th day of the year. Goes to the Nets, the 13 team. You see how Nets is 13 in the most pure cipher? It's also 41 for Brooklyn, the 13th prime. But, yeah, I smell something here with sports. I smell a sports riddle here that I need to think about more. And a whole load of bullshit. Especially with that purple dumpster in the background. Reminds me of the Lakers. By the way, a lot of times if you just follow lines, like I documented this on the site yesterday. I just looked at ESPN's front page. And the guy who won yesterday, who he did better than he was supposed to. He was the favorite, but he wasn't supposed to dominate the fight the way he did. But just notice his line yesterday, his betting line, negative 135. He wasn't, it was close to even, but he was a slight underdog. But he was not expected to dominate the fight the way he did. But his line was negative 135 on the 135th day of the year. If you just pay attention to things like this stuff goes on every day. Every single day. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. If you just pay attention to what goes on every day in sports, you realize there's winks and nods there in the numbers for likely outcomes. And I really do think that it's done this way for a secret, for the people who are aware of it. It's how the ruling class stays the ruling class and wealthy. Just so many ways to siphon money off the public, and just the number games. How many people yesterday are aware that May 15th is the 135th day of the year? Not many people. This community, a lot of people are aware because of what we talk about every day, but most people the day of the year, if you quiz them, they'd be like, I'm not sure what day of the year that is. What day is July 20th, the day of the moon landing? People be like, I don't know. It is the 201st day of the year. Like Neil Alden Armstrong is 201. Also yesterday in Minnesota, big train derailment. I didn't put in the research here, but I just noticed right away 50 car derailed. Derailed has that 50. Could be something going on there, but sometimes I'll just do a lazy post in case anybody wants to leave a comment. Doesn't seem like anyone cared enough to follow up. Today in Toronto, shout out to Natalie. Hope Natalie's having a good day. But today in Toronto, supposedly a shooting. One person was killed and 4 others injured in a Toronto shooting on the last day of Toronto's basketball season. But right away, again, just the Mason thing stands out to me today. Again, Masonry has so much influence in the Fraternal Order of Police. Again, the checkerboard symbolism all over, officer caps across the world, the black and white police. But the town that this happened in, the suburb of Toronto, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Never mind. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Sorry, you guys. Your name's out of this world. It's very un-American. But it's 158, the gematria of it, like Freemasonry. And again, today has 42 and 62 date numerology, like Freemason and Mason, and it's 16/5. I smell big Masonic ritual all over the place right here. And it just reminds of... last year on April 15th, the guy driving in essentially the police vehicle, the Mountie vehicle, up the 102 route, shooting people in the full uniform and then getting the gun rights taken away. But, remember there's that movie out there called Filth. That movie lives up to the name title, but what it's about is these really deranged police officers that go out and commit their own crimes and solve their own crimes, and they all hang out together at the Masonic Lodge. It's a really messed up movie, but it is called Filth. And if I remember right, that word equals, maybe it's 55, it equals filth. Yeah, it's 55. That movie was released on the 55th birthday of the author. The same author who wrote Trainspotting wrote Filth, which was also made into a movie. Oh, and by the way, this comes on a Sunday, which has Gematria 33, like Masonry, like secrecy, like order. So, and the name of this, Etobicoke, I don't know how do you say the name of the town. Is it Etobicoke? Probably not. But it has Gematria of 85 as well, like Willow Ridge Road, where it happened at, the shooting 85, like police department. So again, I'm just wondering, remember basketball's 85, last day of the very disappointing season for Toronto. There might be more to this riddle than I know, but again, if it's in CNN's headlines, it's probably contrived bullshit. Also, this was from yesterday. Yesterday, they said was the worst day of the conflict. Now from today, here's from today. They're saying today's even worse than yesterday. And what will it be tomorrow on the 137th day of the year? But just the headline, Israeli-Palestinian conflict intensifies, 404. That's the number of chapters in Revelation. If you've been following the work all week, we keep talking about Revelation with what they keep encoding in the stories about what's going on. And it makes sense because, again, in the end of the Bible, in Revelation, you have the synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews but are not. And again, who's really in Israel right now? Because based on the evidence that's out there from the Bible and the books that have been taken away, I mean, it seems to be a lot of evidence that the true Hebrews are of darker complexions. And for the most part, we don't think of them. And that's when we say Jews, that's what it's supposed to be, the Hebrews from the Bible. But we don't really think of them. We think of different people. But this news was on May 15th, right? 15/5, like 155, Christianity 155, Christian prophecy, Revelation, the synagogue of Satan, war, plague, illness. This was the 3-year anniversary of Cladex, the pandemic simulation, the 1-year anniversary of Operation Warp Speed. And again, remember, from May 15th, Cladex to the date the pandemic was declared 666. Again, numbers relating to Revelation. And again, Revelation has those 404 verses. And I know Revelation has 404 verses. I was just trying to find like a nice little screenshot capture of Revelation and its 404 verses. For whatever reason, one of the first things that came up on Google was this thing with Homer Simpson pointing to doing some crazy math equation and then minus the 144,000 from Revelation. Brings you to the date May 19th. May 19th is just days away, but May 19th, what it is it's the 139th day of the year, and Jerusalem has that 139 in it. Remember, so does America, and these are nations attached at the hip, and our Freemasonry's got the 139, and 139 is the 34th prime, just words like free have 34, and, Jewish is 34. So, May 19th, we're just days away, and as hot as things are, that'll be Wednesday. Here, just I'm going to check. Netanyahu's birthday is October 21st. Let me just see how things line up here. Remember, the military conflict on May 10th began 201 days after Netanyahu's birthday, so this should actually be simple math, but let's see. So that's 210 days after his birthday, which is 30 weeks. 30 is an interesting number because Bible has the 30 connection. Bible is 30 forwards, 105 in reverse, like how the military conflict began on 10/5 in 21. If anybody knows what this is from in The Simpsons, I would like to know. Like, what episode is this right here? Where's Bruco at? Bruco probably has a video somewhere on this. So, if anybody knows about this, I will check on Free to Find Truth and, as soon as I'm done with the presentation, which isn't too far off, and see if anybody knows what episode this is. And whenever I think of 404, I always think back about this. This was documented in 2015, the day of. This is something we've been talking about since 2015. When Pope Francis showed up in D.C., he showed up at 4:04 p.m. local. That's when he got off the plane. 4:04, Pope Francis 404. Revelation 404. Remember, he's the 266th Pope. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, is 266, and he spoke in D.C. on September 23rd, the 266th day of 2015. And then the motto is also 122, like Pope Francis, which brings you back to satanic. Catholic Church it is so evil. Okay. And by the way, they're talking about how Israel attacked Al Jazeera and the Associated Press. They blew up their building. Imagine if another country did that. The U.S. would be bombing them already. Attacking the press? Again, Israel just gets away with murder, man. But you realize that's the mistake I made all these years. It truly is the Jesuits who are behind all this. And they kind of use the Jews as their shield. For anyone awake, it looks like it's the Jews if you don't know about the Jesuits. And to my credit, I've always kept the Jesuits in the running. And I'd give myself more credit if I've been certain the Jesuits have controlled the world of sports for many years. Since about 2016, they definitely control the rest of the world. No doubt about it, which I've been sure about for over a year. So... Okay, how about this one? In the Seychelles, 60% vaccinated, but still infections are rising. So Seychelles has the Gematria 113, like coronavirus pandemic. 113 is the 30th prime, vaccines 30. They put out this story on a date with 60 numerology, about 60% vaccinated in a darker skinned nation where, again, the N-word has that 60 connection. And, again, I mean, it's just mass confusion, really. It's like they're pressuring you to go out and get the vaccine, but at the same time, they seem to be running quite a few stories that should make you go like, well, wait a minute. If you can still get it and pass it on, and you still need to wear a mask, and oh, wait, finally, maybe I can take the mask off. What's the point of getting this? And I have to get it from that company that's been sued all those times for wrongful death and injury? I'm not so sure about this. I've been healthy all year. Again, what would be my argument? I've been maintaining the same attitude I've had since 9/11/2001, which is don't trust the media, don't trust the government. They're clearly lying to you. They're clearly trying to lead you on a very bad path. So this whole time I've been calling bullshit, like I called bullshit on the news and media and government every single day, and I've been totally healthy, and I haven't lived in fear, and I think I probably had a lot better year than most other people just for those reasons alone. And again, there hasn't been any punishment. I haven't caught any colds or gotten any deadly viruses or illnesses or tested positive. I've just been healthy the whole time. And the proof of that's been that I've been putting out videos every day, healthy all year. It was back in the winter where I was like, oh, I can feel the tickle coming on my throat. I'll probably wake up sick tomorrow, but I didn't. There was something going on that night, but my body fought whatever germs I was feeling. I thought I was going to wake up sick the next day. I didn't. So if you went through and watched all the videos I put out in the time of the pandemic, if you watched every last one, and I mean, you'd be here for a long time because I put out a lot of content, there'd be the one time where I was saying, ooh, I think I'm going to wake up sick tomorrow. But then you know what? I woke up sick. I didn't wake up sick the next day, and I put out videos, and I said, you know what? I feel fine today, you guys. Take care of yourself. Eat healthy. Okay, and then also in the news, China lands its rover on Mars. And what day did they do this? They did on May 15th, right? And Mars is 15. And remember earlier this year, NASA landed the rover on Mars. That was February 18, 2021. We did a big presentation on that. We talked about how it was a date with 61 numerology. Well, guess what? May 15th, 2021 was a date with 61 numerology. So the U.S. and China landed their rovers on Mars about 3 months apart, both on 61 date numerologies. Planet Mars 61, landing 61. Coincidence? Again, I guess just everything's just a coincidence. The two rituals were 86 days apart. Jesuits 86, who were saying is behind it all. And I did notice that the news also came 44 days from Elon Musk's upcoming birthday. I'm not so sure about that. Musk is 44, but again, he's Mr. Mars. Military. Have to read that book about the Elons on Mars from 1953. And just another reminder, we're just days away from the Ignatian year, which begins May 20th. That's the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, was supposedly hit by a cannonball. Notice cannonballs got the 56 like Society of Jesus, and he would die in 1556. But this Ignatian year begins May 20th. Remember what happened last year on May 20th, 2020? Adolfo Nicholas died. Adolfo Nicholas was the 84-year-old superior general of the Jesuits. His name's 54 and 72 in the same ciphers as Jesuit order. It's also 225. He died on May 20th, the day leaving 225 days left in the year. His name has the 126 as well, just like John Carroll, who established the first Jesuit university, Georgetown, in the U.S. But again, just all. And by the way, John Carroll was 54 when he established the first Jesuit university, January 23rd, 1789. But we were just saying that May 19th could be interesting. Got to find out more about that Simpsons episode. But then that next day, the Ignatian year begins, which isn't something that they've done before. They're calling it this period of time. It goes from May 20th, 2021 to... Here, I did another post on this. Come on, you. It goes from May 20th to July 31st, 2022. So realize it runs a little bit more than a year. July 31st is the day he died in history in 1556. So they're doing this right now in the year 21. And again, I mean, this is a new thing that they're doing, right? This Ignatian year, but they're doing it in 21. Jesuits 21, while Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope's 84 years old, while the superior general is 72 years old. You know what I mean? And remember, you have the first superior general from South America, and you have the first pope who's from South America and a Jesuit. So there's probably something even bigger coming to South America than there already has. And remember, Agenda 21 happened in South America in Brazil. Event 201, in the simulation, it's focused on Brazil, which is supposedly the hardest hit country now. So South America going to be a nation to really keep your eyes on, and the whole world. This is the New World Order, but again, there's something about both these guys being from South America. A lot of people think that's where the Jesuits and the Catholic Church hid Hitler after his supposed suicide at age 56. Remember, in the most pure cipher, Adolf Hitler's 56, AM 187, just like Society of Jesus. But yeah, this Ignatian year, man, what are they going to do, these crazy Jesuits? So, but yeah, just anybody who'd say all this is a coincidence is an absolute moron, period. And with regards to the whole 21 thing, I'm glad I just saw in my notes because this is important to point out. Again, Georgetown, the first Jesuit university, was established 23/1, right? Like 231, the 21st triangular number, Jesuit 21, Ignatius of Loyola, the founder. And don't forget, Ignatius died 84 days from his own birthday in 1556, while the Pope is 84 years old. Pope's got the 56. Benedict's got to go soon, man. How old is he? I should do some more thinking on him. He's the Pope that stepped down by the numbers for Francis. He stepped down on the 59th day of the year, and Pope Francis is 59, like how the 59th election was synced up with him. Well, he just turned 94. Roman Catholic Church is 94. The next stage up is 95. I have to think more about that some other time. He's getting old, though. And remember, he had that story a while back that he was ready to die. Oh, look at this. In 1521, while Ignatius was convalescing at his family home in Loyola from the wound that damaged his leg at the Battle of Pamplona. So in 1521, right? That's why they're doing it 500 years later, but just 21 again. That means he would die 35 years after that in 56, Catholic 35. Okay, and just to make sure you guys saw this, shout out to Leo, Truth Over Fear. He tipped me off to this story, and I got to looking at it a little bit more. A lottery for nearly $666,000 was won in Kingman, Arizona. More specifically, White Hills, Arizona. White Hills has Gematria 55 like Satan. And the winning numbers were 14, 17, 19, 25, 28, 41. Add that up, it's 144, right? Remember, Mark of the Beast. What? Did I not write this down? Okay, well, if you add up the winning numbers, they add up to 144, like Mark of the Beast is 144. And then the other connection with 144 and 666 is the first 144 decimal points of pi when added together equals 666. And I guess 666 is also the number of a man, and man's made on the sixth day, and God regrets making man in Genesis 6:6. But Triple Twist was the name of the lottery, which is 5472, like Jesuit order. And Kingman, Arizona, which is in the headline, 72 and 153, like Jesuit order. So they covered all the values in this ritual. The winning numbers add up to 144, the name of the lottery, and the location in the headline. Oh, and the news broke on the 132nd day of the year, again, connecting back to Catholic Church. And don't forget, Arizona equals 42 and 84 in the same ciphers as Jesuit. And again, they like to do their number rituals, you know. They're biblical number rituals. They like it. Either that or the universe works this way and this is the code of the matrix. You can think whatever you want. But the Stanley Cup playoffs about to get underway, and just notice there's a brand new popular music video out. Justin Bieber. This is Justin Bieber, the singer, if you don't recognize him from behind with his new pigtails. But he's paying tribute to Happy Gilmore, the film with Adam Sandler, hockey, and golf in the music video, but he's also wearing a Doug Gilmore jersey, who's still alive, when he was with Toronto with the number 93 on it. And the thing that's funny about hockey is it's Canada's sport, and they have not won the Stanley Cup since 93, and it is the year of 7, and they did hockey different this year. They had a 56-game season for the coronavirus season, coronavirus 56, but it's been a year of 7s. And the thing is, from 93 to 2021, that's 28 years later, which is the 7th triangular number, like how Nick Saban got his 7th championship, beating Ohio State by 28 points. But it's been 28 years. You got the group of 7, the 7 Canadian teams playing each other this year. That's what they did. They just made groups, and only these teams, like Canada couldn't play in the U.S. because of the COVID rules, so they only played each other all season. But will this be the year that Canada finally wins the Stanley Cup, the year of Wuhan coronavirus, which is another 93? So we will see, but I don't think it's an accident that you got right before, or like this music video coming out right at the time the playoffs are starting with him wearing the 93 with the Toronto jersey. Toronto also turned 187 years old this year. By the way, Toronto's birthday is March 6th, you guys, 3-6. And look at it. Toronto, 36 forwards and backwards. Their birthday is March 6th, right? And let me check on Maple Leafs. Yeah, 36 in that most pure cipher, too. What a name for the city born on 3-6. Okay, so let's see what they're saying happened today. Actually, I want this screenshot first. Oh, shit. How come when I go back now, it gives me something different? Damn, I want that screenshot. Well, I guess I lost it. Anyway, Israel-Palestinian conflict marks its deadliest day as scenes of horror unfold in Gaza. Okay. Keep in mind, tomorrow will be the 17th, and if I'm not mistaken, Gaza is 17 in the most pure cipher. Yes, it is. So again, it's going on with Israel's 73rd birthday. Gaza's 17, and 17 is just a tough number because things like kill are 17. And then you got that Simpsons thing with the 19, May 19th. Okay. Israel bombed the house of Hamas Gaza leader and obliterated a family's home in Gaza as Hamas launched more than 100 rockets towards Israel on Sunday, marking the deadliest day of the week-long conflict so far, according to data from Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza and Israeli authorities. I think a bug is biting my knee right now. The Israel Defense Forces said it had bombed the house of Yahya Sinwar, Hamas leader, since 2017. In southern Gaza's, and this is the day before the 17th, in southern Gaza's Khan Yunis neighborhood early Sunday morning. IDF spokesperson on a Sunday, right? The Catholic day. IDF spokesperson It's that Brigadier General Hedai Zilberman told social media and Sinwar had been unhurt in the airstrike. 2 Israeli airstrikes in Gaza killed at least 43 Palestinians, including 8 children. Killings 43, Masonic, Lucifer, R.I.P. There's probably more to it. I think, does Muhammad actually have the 43 connection too? It does. Muhammad's got the 43 connection. Let's see this guy. Yahya Sinwar. Born October 29, 62. He was 58. Wikipedia. Again, this is according to Wikipedia. It's better to double check if you can confirm where somebody else's birthday is besides just Wikipedia. But let's just take a look from October 29th in case that is the right date. Let's see, October 29th, the day leaving 63 days left in the year. What's the day? All right. Make sure my math's right here. October 29th, 2020 to today, May 16th, 2021. It's 199 days. You see that? The 46th prime. And again, that connects to words like execution is 46. So is sacrifice. Genesis 46 begins with the sacrifice. Of course, sacrifice is also 73, and this is days after Israel's 73rd birthday. Plus today has 62 date numerology. And again, the whole Catholic thing too, right? It's like the Catholics pulling all the strings on this. The Jesuits, but 199 days, 46th prime. How many days? I can't think right now. How many days is that to his upcoming birthday? 166. Yeah, there's a lot of things about that number, including secret societies. But yeah, I think it's the 199 days. God, you know what else bothers me about that? There's another thing that bothers me about that now that I think about it more. When you write out Temple Mount, because this whole thing got escalated at Temple Mount's also 46. And Temple Mount's also 53, the 16th prime, and we're on the 16th. And, I just had one other connected. Oh, yeah. Just he's 58 years old, because when you write out Solomon's temple, it's 58. And when you write out Herod's temple, it's 58. That's the first and second temples that were destroyed that are remembered on Tisha B'Av. And even when you write out third temple, it's 58. And remember, Trump won the 58th U.S. presidential election, and they had Trump's head on the shekel to raise funds for the coming third temple. And again, just the rituals that are performed with these same numbers. So he's dead at 58. If his birthday is correct, 199 days after his birthday. Sinwar. I mean, what kind of name is that too, man? And that's the kind of stuff that just makes you go, okay, are these chosen puppets who are just all part of the contrived narrative that just has people nodding their head along? Like all the believers are like, well, this is what we've been expecting. Yahya Sinwar. Sinwar. Oh my God, man. Are you kidding me with this? This guy's, okay. Remember how his birthday we just saw is the day leaving 63 days left in the year? John Carroll has that in his name. But you see the 144, 54, 153? I mean, come on, man. Jesuit order 144, 54, 153. What did we say? We said 21 would be the year of war because Jesuits 21, armies 21, Bibles 21, war is 21. And then when was the first big ritual? February 1st, when Burma's government was overthrown by the military, and that government was put together on September 27th, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. Now we got Yahya Sinwar. These people, man. Sinwar name meaning. I mean, how can that be your name? Yeah, who the hell has this name? Your name is Sinwar. It is the 2,020,555th most common surname in the world per forebears.io. So apparently some people do have the name, though. Okay, here to make a point. There are 68 incidents of this name in India, one of the most populated countries in the world. So in Iran, there's one incidence of it. Okay, Iran has one. I like this website. Afghanistan has one. Country is this? Oman. No, that's not Oman. United Arab Emirates has 4. Egypt has 1. Cambodia. No. Thailand has 1. Russia has 1. Norway has 1. Who knew the sin war? Actually, hey, what did I do here? I screwed this up. Whoa, I'm screwing it all up. Canada has 4. The U.S. has 3. Okay, I think I made my point. Hardly anybody has this name in the world. Sinwar. Unbelievable, man. On a Sunday. Just couldn't get any more Catholic. Yeah, I have a feeling though it's not going to get. Well, it would. I'd like to hope that I'd like to hope that it all ends on the 17th for Gaza, since Gaza's 17. But I have a feeling it's going to get worse. Yeah. Did we even check his name, Gematria? Yaha Sinwar? Did we even check that? Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, it was just like Jesuit order. What about just Sinwar alone? Oh, God, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Are you kidding me? 84, 78, 42, just Sinwar? Jesuit. 84, 78, 42. Plus it's Sunday. Come on, man. It reminds me that so much of the stuff they do is just totally faked and bullshit, these people. Like, the leader since 2017, who, appointed by the Jesuits for his puppet position with his planned expiration date for today, who really controls Hamas at the end of the day? Hamas even got the 42 in the name. 93. Hamas trying to test the Iron Dome. Remember, everything in Israel's 93. I used to cover that to death. What's the name of their government? Whatever it is called 93, where they meet. There are a bunch of things. I've been so focused on the Jesuits, I forgot some of the things I know about Israel and the Zionists off the top of my head. But, yeah, this stuff is sick. The death toll is supposedly up to 197, the 45th prime. Holy Bible, 45, forwards and backwards. 58 children, 34 women. Gaza, they probably control, or not Gaza, but Hamas, they probably control and have them fire off The driver, a 42-year-old male, was shot and killed. I was going to say, they probably control these groups to fire this stuff to test off their military defense, make sure it's working. And give them the excuse to fire the big bombs back. That's why, I mean, really, like, the eye for an eye is the Jewish thing, and it's not really an eye for an eye, because it's always a major slaughter. It's like the people of Israel should say, you know what, we're like the big brother, and we got this little ornery brother firing some rockets at us that aren't even going to do nothing to us today. We don't need to fire back our big old bombs and kill 50 of them just to remind them who Big Brother is. You know, Big Brother doesn't need to kill Little Brother 50 times to make a point. But again, this whole thing, you guys, it's just so obvious. Again, the Jesuits just set up this whole thing just to divide. This whole nation is just a Jesuit sick joke to bring all this conflict and division out of, to have people take sides worldwide, feel the pain worldwide. Again, it's just, 43 is a big number with the Jesuits too, because again, Society of Jesus is 191, the 43rd prime, and of course Jesus Christ is 43. Now they say his crucifixion was April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now, and definitely be back tomorrow. And if you guys don't follow my website, GematriaEffect.News, I am keeping up with everything there. Like, if you guys miss me, just come check out. I have not. The last couple of weeks I haven't put out as many videos as I normally do, and part of that is because Sweet Lady, she has a short break now from school, and I have been spending more time with her, and we've been going on a lot of walks and hikes and little nature trails, and so I don't get. Even though we've been together forever, there's not a lot of in the time we've been together, we've both been working hard the whole time, but there's been little breaks here and there where she has a few weeks off, and I'll always spend a little bit more time with her. But pretty soon she'll be back on the grind, and I'll be pumping out videos the way I always do. Not that my production's been anything, I put out a lot of content still, but some people might notice, hey, Zach didn't put out as many videos. So anyway, it's all there, Truth Seeker. If you want to learn about it, all in the book. You can support the books, or you can get them for free. Again, I made them free on my Patreon page. Just scroll back to, if you just scroll down, you'll see the free post where I made it free. I did another one where I made it free since even the Christmas Eve post, but you can download the ebooks for free if you want to read them. But yeah, if you have this knowledge, you'll just see day after day, just the same stuff goes on. Same old stuff, sports, news, all of it. All right, you guys, we'll leave it there. And, appreciate all of you. And until next time.